Dodgers facing a critical decision, and Max Muncy is the reason they might pass. Despite rumors of pursuing a massive $275 million contract to chase a superstar bat, the Dodgers are reportedly stepping back, and it all comes down to Muncy. With his mammoth 2025 season boasting MVP-caliber stats and veteran presence, Los Angeles sees him as a cornerstone who can deliver clutch power and leadership. That big-budget move? Now on hold, as the front office weighs Muncy's proven performance against the risk of an unproven, mega-dollar gamble. Will doubling down on Muncy's consistency pay off more than chasing a splashy free agent? Dodgers Nation is watching. This choice could reshape their entire offseason strategy. Big money moves. Championship windows. Franchise-altering decisions. When it comes to the Los Angeles Dodgers, every offseason and every trade deadline brings the potential for massive financial commitments. But in a stunning twist this summer, the Dodgers are not expected to make a rumored $275 million decision, and it all comes down to Max Muncy. That's right, this is one of those behind-the-scenes domino effects that could alter the trajectory of the team's future, even though it's not about splashy trades or superstar signings on the surface. It's about timing, depth, and trust. Let's unpack what's really going on here. The Dodgers have long been linked to the idea of chasing another superstar either via trade or free agency, and multiple sources around the league suggested that a blockbuster deal in the $250–275 million range was under consideration. Names like Juan Soto, Bo Bichette, and even Jos Ramírez were floated around. The idea was to bring in another elite-level bat, someone who could lock down third base or shortstop, and give the Dodgers the final push toward a championship. But that all hinged on one thing: how the team assessed its current roster and injury situation. And this is where Max Muncy comes in. Muncy has been a key figure in L.A.'s offensive success the past few seasons. His power from the left side, his positional flexibility, and his playoff experience make him incredibly valuable. But now, he's out for 6 weeks, dealing with a bone bruise in his knee. It's not a torn ligament, thankfully, but it's serious enough to take him out of action for a good chunk of the second half. Normally, this would lead a front office to go into panic mode. After all, you're down a starter, a cleanup hitter, and one of your top home run threats. But the Dodgers? They're not panicking. In fact, they're holding firm. And the $275 million deal? Not happening. Not now. So why the hesitation? First, let's talk about the injury itself. Max Muncy's knee issue, while not season-ending, is tricky. Bone bruises can linger. They're unpredictable. Even if Muncy comes back before October, there's no guarantee he'll be 100%. But here's the key: the Dodgers believe he will be back in time to contribute. Manager Dave Roberts was very clear when asked if Muncy's injury would change the front office's deadline priorities. His answer? No. Not really. That tells us everything. This team is banking on Muncy being available when it matters most in the playoffs. More importantly, the Dodgers believe in their internal options. That's a huge reason they're not diving headfirst into another long-term, mega contract commitment. Players like Miguel Rojas, Kike Hernandez, and Chris Taylor have been covering ground across the infield. And then there's Tommy Edman, who has quietly become one of the most important role players on the roster. With his versatility and defensive instincts, he's already being penciled in to take the bulk of reps at third base in Muncy's absence. In short, the Dodgers are betting on themselves. Now let's dig into the money side, because that's where the real story is. Any $275 million decision would involve either signing a superstar long-term or absorbing a massive contract via trade. Either move would reshape the team's payroll structure and likely require giving up prospects, future flexibility, or both. But if you believe Muncy is going to return and produce, even at 80 or 90%, do you really need to gamble $275 million on a new player? Apparently not. That's not to say the front office isn't thinking big. The Dodgers are always evaluating high-value opportunities. But right now, They're delaying any blockbuster commitments until they have a clearer picture of how Muncy's recovery unfolds. If he comes back on time, and the team stabilizes, there's no need to make a rash, expensive move. But if there's a setback or regression in performance, things could heat up fast. For now, the brakes are on. There's another layer to this, two-team chemistry. The Dodgers have spent years building a roster that balances superstar talent with glue guys who know the system. Muncy is one of those rare players who bridges both sides. He's beloved in the clubhouse, respected by younger players, and known for his grit. You don't just replace a guy like that overnight, even with someone more statistically productive. Sometimes, making no move is the smartest move of all, especially when the stakes are this high. And let's not forget the bigger picture. L.A. already made one of the biggest signings in MLB history this year by locking up Shohei Ohtani. They're also managing huge contracts for Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, and their revamped pitching staff. Layering another $275 million onto that financial structure would be risky even for a team as deep-pocketed as the Dodgers. Ownership knows that. President of Baseball Ops Andrew Friedman knows that. And Dave Roberts? He's focused on squeezing maximum value out of the roster they already have. Fans, of course, are split. Some are calling for boldness. Others are preaching patience. But what everyone agrees on is this: the Dodgers are still contenders, even without Muncy for the next month and a half. Their rotation is stabilizing. Their bullpen has improved. And the offense, while inconsistent at times, still features some of the best bats in baseball. The front office's decision not to chase a 9-figure replacement is less about being passive and more about being strategic. And here's something else to consider: this could all be setting the stage for a different kind of blockbuster. The Dodgers may be holding off on a massive move right now, not because they lack ambition but because they're waiting for the right opportunity. A mid-season trade that doesn't cost $275 million. A creative deal that flies under the radar. A surprise name that nobody's talking about yet. L.A. has the assets. They have the brain trust. And they're not the type of team to force a move just for headlines. Meanwhile, Max Muncy's rehab is progressing. He's staying around the team, doing light work, and maintaining his rhythm as best he can. He wants to be ready. He knows how important he is not just for his bat, but for his presence in the dugout, and his ability to come through in big moments. Don't be surprised if he returns with a chip on his shoulder, looking to prove that the front office was right to believe in him. So what happens next? It's all about timing. The Dodgers will monitor Muncy's status closely. They'll evaluate their infield performance. And they'll keep their eyes on the trade market. But as of now, they're not expected to make that